I'd like to call to order the Utility Service Board for the City of Lawrence on this 26th day of January 2021. All members are present either in person or by Zoom connection. So we do have a quorum, and we will begin with the reading of the statement regarding the meeting.
The Utility Service Board may impose reasonable restrictions on the number of attendees to control audience density in consideration of the existing COVID-19 national emergency. The public may participate remotely by dialing 312-626-6799 and entering the following meeting identification code, 884-0078. 7704, followed by the pound sign.
Thank you very much, Tina. And we, first order of business are the minutes from the meeting on January 12, 2021. Those were sent out to the members by email for their review. I entertain a motion that we approve the minutes.
This Dale, I'd so move.
Been moved.
Tracy Boyd, second.
Been moved and seconded. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? If not, we will vote. Dale.
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Tracy.
Aye.
Dave.
You need to unmute Dave.
Dave may be.
Dave, you need to unmute.
Dave? I vote aye as well. We didn't hear from Dave, but
Here he goes.
Hello?
There you are.
Hi.
Aye. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Can now.
Yes.
Thank you. So the minutes are approved. Payment of claims. The claims were also sent out to the members for their review by email. I would entertain a motion that we approve the payment of the claims.
Dave Parnell, so moved.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Tracy Boyd will second.
Thank you, Tracy. And are there any discussion regarding any of the claims? Any questions? If not, we will vote. Dale.
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Tracy.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Those are unanimously approved. Now go down to the report of the utility superintendent.
Good evening, everyone. As
Good
you see,
evening.
Hello?
so we have 3 items on our agenda tonight. An amendment to the GAI contract for engineering on our Maple Lane, Zeller Avenue, and Wallingwood Drive water main replacement projects. An approval of an agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for a new vehicle leasing program. And then, of course, approval of our awarding of the water main project. So with regard to the engineering amendment, if you recall, when we first approved the contract with GAI to design those water main replacements, we indicated that we would probably be back in the future with an amendment to that to add some additional fees for them to engineer the stormwater improvements once we got out and got the scope of the project nailed down, got some survey work done, and then they were able to better analyze that. So this is their amendment to incorporate the engineering work to put the drainage ditches back, make all the restoration and regrading of the ditches and whatnot on that project. I would also note that, like the Kitley Avenue project, the city's stormwater utility will be paying for the stormwater improvements on the Wallingwood project. Now, the 2 other streets, Zeller and Maple, do not have any stormwater improvements associated with them. So we would ask that we approve that so we can move forward begin with the incorporating the drainage design into the overall set of plans. And then I think I was going to let Paul go into a little bit of background. Paul's been heading up, working with Mr. Stoner here on our enterprise fleet management leasing program. And so when it's time to, I guess, to approve that, Paul can provide some background, and Mr. Stoner will provide all the technical details, or if you have any, questions about how that program operates. The only other thing is, of course, we have a recommendation from Shrewsbury, our engineer, on the water main project on Carroll Road, and so we would like to get that approved tonight as well. Other than that, we're getting ready to submit our CMOM report to EPA for 2020. I've been reviewing that this afternoon. Paul and Greg got it put together. We should be pretty well wrapped up on our water audit, and should be getting those things, copies out to you guys as soon as they're officially submitted.
Okay. Very good. Any questions for Scott by any of the members? Well, if not, we will continue on, and unfinished business, we do not have any. Under new business, item number 1 is the approval of the Wallingwood Drive Drainage Amendment number 1. I would entertain a motion that we approve that.
Dave Parnell, so moved.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Tracy Boyd, second.
Been moved and seconded. So any discussion regarding this project?
Just a quick question. It's for Scott. I noticed that you said that the other streets were not going to, we're not paying for those other streets. As a preventative measure, are we kind of scoping that out just in general so we don't have the, kind of like the backside issue?
Yeah, the two other streets in the project, Maple Lane and Zeller Avenue, do not have any identified stormwater issues. On Wallingwood, we're going to be disturbing the existing drainage that's there. And so when we go to restore that, of course, we'll want to make sure we get all the ditch work done. We'll correct some other issues there. The city engineers indicated that he would like, we have some issues with driveways that have different size culvert pipes underneath it, so we want to standardize the size of the pipe, make sure the ditches are graded properly from upstream to downstream, and then it also includes a new crossover pipe that will cross Wallingwood to transfer water from one side to the other. And again, the stormwater utility will be paying for those improvements.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, anything else further? If not, we will go ahead and vote. Dale.
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Tracy.
Aye.
Dave.
Aye.
And I vote aye as well, so that is approved. Next order of business under new business, it would be the approval of agreement with Enterprise Fleet Management for leasing of new vehicles. I would entertain a motion that we approve that.
Dave Parnell, so moved.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Second, Tracy Boyd.
Been moved and seconded. Any questions or discussion regarding this item?
So I'll point out that just recently the street department did a similar program with this company, and what it does is you take your like the typical capital money you might expend in purchasing vehicles in a given year. So we'll take, I think it was roughly $160,000. And but with that, instead of just buying a couple vehicles, we'll be leasing 13 vehicles. So we'll be replacing 13 vehicles. And then those vehicles will then be in this program, which will be managed by Mr. Stoner's group, E-Fleets. So what it ultimately results in is we'll have a fleet that stays newer, will have lowered maintenance costs, lower fuel costs, stuff like that, because the vehicles will be kept. And when they start exhibiting signs that they're no longer financially viable, then we rotate those out. And then in the meantime, so like the money we would have expended in our vehicle replacement program this year will fund this program in the first year. And then as the program goes on, we'll also build up equity in those leased vehicles that we can then roll back into the program. So all in all, it's pretty good. And I don't know, I probably have missed some important stuff. So right now, I'll turn it over to Paul and Aaron, who have done the lion's share of the work on this.
As Scott mentioned, in going into this agreement with Enterprise, we're going to be able to get the fleet to where they are 5 years or newer, instead of having the older trucks that we have to put more maintenance into, higher gas, bad fuel economy. And it will get, with this first year, we will have all the vehicles in the utility within that range of 5 years or newer. We'll actually be trading in 17 vehicles to get 13 back. With the restructuring of some of the things in the utility, we don't need the extra vehicles that we're going to be losing. And then if you have any further questions, Mr. Stoner can answer them if you need to drill into the details.
Okay. Well, thank you, Paul. Further questions or discussion?
Does Mr. Stoner have anything to add now?
One thing I would add, first off, thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the meeting. Been in a lot of board meetings. This is my first one via Zoom. So thanks for the opportunity to take a few minutes. Just to further clarify, we're the division of the rental car company that essentially is focused on working with cities, counties, utilities, school districts, to take the same concepts that make the rental operation profitable and apply those same resources, the same expertise that we need on that side of the business from a profitability standpoint. We give those same concepts to the folks we work with. And so that's what it's all about. I'm really excited about the opportunity with the utilities department. I think there's an opportunity to, as Paul mentioned, right type the fleet, meaning get the right vehicles in for the application, and replace some of the older ones, and also right size the fleet, going from those 17 vehicles down to 13. Obviously, that's going to have an operational benefit from maintenance and fuel that's been mentioned, but even things like not having to cover insurance on those extra vehicles. So excited about the opportunity. We very much look at this as a long-term partnership. And so we will be working with Paul and Scott in an ongoing basis to make sure that we're keeping things as efficient as possible for the utilities department.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything further? Well, if not, we will go ahead and vote. Dale?
Did we have a motion ready?
Yes, Dave. And,
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
I vote aye as well, so that is approved. Item number 3 under new business is the approval of the awarding of the 5400 Carroll Road Water Main Extension Project to Miller Pipeline, LLC, as the lowest, most responsible and responsive bidder for $182,639.60.
This deal, I move we approve it.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Dave Parnell, second.
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or questions regarding this item?
Scott, I noticed in looking at the bid tabs that one, the engineer's estimate was 335.8, which is quite a bit above the low bid, but there were several bids that were kind of close, over 300 also. So
Right.
Are you satisfied that Miller Pipeline, and they've done a lot of work for us, I think I'm pretty comfortable with it, but had missed something or some of that? Have you had discussions with them?
I looked through it. I didn't see any issues that stuck out in my mind. And I do have Kwabena Sarkodie here, who's the project engineer, and he can probably address those if you have any specific questions.
Wide variation in the bids that just kind of, that's not very normal.
Good evening. Yes, it was, because of COVID, what we've seen with the bids is that there's been a lot of variation. So, and we looked closely at the different numbers. So the main difference in the bids was the price of the pipe. So we have directional drilled pipe, and then we have open cut pipe. And the bid for Miller was lower than everybody else's, but it was close to another bidder who was he was like $51.60 and then $60 or something. So that told us that it was, it was legit. And then they were actually higher on the open cut pipe. So I think what happened was they were trying to make money on the directional drill versus the open cut, and that's how it worked out for them. So, we think that, sometimes we've seen situations where like bids are just like supplies are delayed just because of COVID, it's just been difficult to get things back and forth. But overall, we're confident with what they gave us, and it's just, they happen to get a good number, and then they put that in, so.
Well, like I said, we've used Miller Pipeline a lot, and they've always, I think, performed well. I'm not real concerned about it, but it was a pretty dramatic difference in bid prices.
Yeah, and also that was one thing we considered as well. You guys have worked with them, they've done good work. If they had been like a new contractor, then we would have been like, well, let's take a second look, but
Right.
you think that they're a good bid, so.
Thank you.
Okay, well.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or discussion regarding this project? If not, we'll go ahead and vote. Dale?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
I vote aye as well, so that is approved. That completes our new business section. The next item of business would be the account adjustments. We have one at 4441 North Longworth Avenue, requesting a sanitary sewer adjustment for $376.68 due to a service line leak in the crawl space. I would entertain a motion that we approve that.
Dave Parnell, so moved.
Is there a second?
Tracy Boyd was second.
It's been moved and seconded. And this is recommend approval by the staff?
Yes, yes.
Any questions or discussion regarding this item? If not, we will vote. Dale?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well, so that is approved. Our next order of business would be remonstration of ratepayer dispute regarding disconnect notice. We do not have any this evening. We do not have any citizens here for citizens' comments, I do not believe.
Mr. Chairman, I move for adjournment. Dave Parnell.
Been moved. Is there a second?
Ms. Dale, second.
Been moved and seconded. We will vote. Dale?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Tracy?
Aye.
Dave?
Aye.
I vote aye as well. Thank you all. We are adjourned.
Everybody hold on a little bit, I got an announcement.
Uh-oh.
While we're all here, we ought to recognize that it's our chairman's birthday today. Steve Hall is 75, that's quite an accomplishment. Give him a round of applause.
Happy birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday.
Nothing like being
Happy
three-quarters of a
birthday.
century old.